What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to the second episode of Drafting to Masters. This is going to be our first episode with the new set Defiance in the mix. I've only played Forge because I was traveling when the set released, so this is going to really be my first experience with it. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into it. Also, last week I released my first drafting with Masters with Sunnyvale, so I'll link that in the top right corner in case you missed that. It came out at the same time as the new set, so I think everybody was really excited about that. But I think there's some really good content there, and I'm looking forward to doing more things like that in the future. So without further ado, let's get into our first Defiance draft. And first off, before we get into any of the picks, I apologize, this is going to be slower than I normally draft because I have to read the cards to know what's good. So we're going to be learning together in this journey with this new set. So I appreciate your patience as I take my time to read cards and things like that. As I do that, obviously I'll edit the videos so that you guys don't have to sit here listening to me, read cards and things like that. Alright, so looking through this pack, I don't think any of the uncommons are super exciting. New Order Watchwing seems fine. I assume the weapon that it plays is just something that it creates, not something that you have to have in your hand. But a 4/4 flyer for 6 I think is reasonable. 3/3 flyer for 5 is kind of the normal cost, so adding an additional influence and giving it +1/+1 with this additional renown text seems pretty decent. Sadistic Glee, I guess if you're going for a mill deck it seems okay, but this also requires you to be ahead on board for it to really do much. I don't think a 5/5 for 6 is very exciting. I think the body on Ruckus Rouser is way too embarrassing to play this for a 4-drop. I have no idea how to rate this Phoenix Hammer. Honestly, it's probably going to be my pick. When I play my 3rd spell, I get it back from my Void. I can't imagine that that's very relevant in draft, because playing 3 spells in a turn is pretty uncommon, but maybe with a Renown deck, you're getting to play more spells when you trigger them from Renown. I think Master Cartographer is good, card selection is nice, and a 2/1 body for 2 is not embarrassing. I remember Bare Arms from being one of the spoiled cards. It seems pretty decent, but I have just no idea the power level of this card, but it seems like it could be good. Mob Rule, again, you have to be ahead on board, but in like a tempo aggressive deck, this is probably pretty good. Lost Scroll is just some fixing. I don't think Cabal Scavenger is too exciting. Token of Honor is obviously good fixing. Pack Beast is like this weird ramp package. I remember I've used it in Forge a couple of times and I liked it quite a bit, but I don't think it's anything too exciting. And then Borrowed Violence. I know there's a few 0-cost cards like this in the set, and they're pretty weird because you're basically spending a card to not impact the board. You're doing something to cards in your hand, and usually that's not great, so I can't imagine this is very good. But for me, I'm just going to pick this Phoenix Hammer because of it being a premium rare. New set, I also need to build my collection. I don't know if it's going to be good or makes the deck. If this wasn't a premium rare, I probably just pick New Order Watchwing or something like that. I think it's also reasonable to take Bare Arms or Master Cartographer here. But like I said, this is my first draft in this new set, so I might have, my card evaluation might be way off. So in pack 2, I think the cards that are pretty interesting, Mighty Strike seems very good. Normally Amplify is like a late game mechanic, but this is just a good fast spell even if you don't amplify it, and if you do have the extra power to amplify it, you can out of nowhere give your guy +4/+4 for 5, which is pretty decent. Other cards, Oni Forge Master seems decent. Like a good renown card. Unmoored Valkyrie seems fine if you play a weapon on it, obviously. Having a flying lifesteal unit seems decent. I don't know how many relics there are that would make this very good. Like Frost Talisman is just garbage, so I wouldn't play that in order to pay off for this card. Hard Sight Cyclops seems okay. Influence requirements are a little extra, compared to Back Alley Delinquent, which is a 4/3 for 4. And it seems just like filler basically, but it does have like the amplify text on there too. But once again, I feel like that's a late game mechanic that's not all that interesting. I guess if you could silence this guy, he could be good, but he's still only got 1 toughness, so I don't think this is great. And Fur Hat just seems overcosted. Yes, it helps you get to your second justice, but I don't see this being all that great. So I think I'm just going to take Mighty Strikes here. If this wasn't here, I'd probably just take Forge Master. Elvish Swindler gets you a relic from your deck. Body's pretty bad. Doesn't work with Phoenix Hammer, so that's not good for us. Arc Weaponsmith seems decent. Arachnodon Egg seems fine too. You obviously want to play this on turn 1 and then just curve out to play the Arachnodon on 4. Grandfather's Axe, I used this in Forge and I liked it quite a bit. It is definitely overcosted for what it does, and if it gets silenced, it's not great, but I don't know. It's very good in the Renown deck, I think, because it just keeps giving you the ability to bring it back. Awaken the Ages is, I think, okay fixing, but you don't get to pick it, so that's kind of weird. Research Assistant. So this is fixing and potential ramp. I kind of like the idea of this. 4 costs for a 3/3. Yeah, this is a tough pick here because I don't think any of these cards are like amazing, and it's kind of hard to evaluate when you don't know what other cards to expect. But I guess I'm gonna take the Arc Weaponsmith here. Like maybe you get enough weapons and its ability is relevant, but could also just take the Research Assistant for the fixing and potential ramp. I think that would also be fine. But I'm just gonna take the Arc Weaponsmith here. Okay, so cards that are coming through. This is interesting, but once again, you need relics to make it very good. But I like the 2/5 body. This is so apparently this combination of colors is like relic focused. Seems kind of weird. Oni Samurai I used in Forge and liked it quite a bit just because you can get the Warcry train rolling and, there's not a lot your opponent can do about it. We've already talked about Oni Forge Master. I think this is pretty good. This is expensive removal and doesn't take care of units with weapons on them, so I don't love that. This is surprising that this card is fast. Warlock's Brew. I don't know how relevant it would be, but given the fact that it's fast cost removal, it seems pretty decent. Like you could blow out some blocks, you can just surprise your opponent with it because it's fast essentially. But it seems like these are pretty decent Recano cards. If I take Oni Samurai, it's like I'm saying Mighty Strikes is the splash. If I take Oni Forge Master, it's more like Arc Weaponsmith is the splash. I wish I had more knowledge. I guess I'll take the Oni Forge Master because I want to make sure I can play Mighty Strikes. I think it's going to be very powerful, so we'll take Forge Master here. Another Mighty Strike seems very good. Fledgling Aviasaur seems okay. Yeah, like these are all good renowned cards. I'm just going to take Mighty Strikes, I think. Not excited by anything else, but at the very least, it looks like we're in maybe the right lane. I think Softfoot Burglar is like an okay one drop. I do like the ability that it gives you a chance to gain some value off of it. Bannerman could just be better for the fixing, but a 2/2 for 2, I have no idea if that's relevant in this format or not. But I think I'll just take the Softfoot Burglar since I know I'm going to be in fire at this point, I think, given that we've got Mighty Strikes and the Forge Master. Coastal Beastmaster. This is a 5/5 for 5. That seems pretty good. It's in the colors we want to be in. Fall Short also seems like a very relevant removal spell. Like if there's just a big dumb time card, like this takes care of it. You know, what this doesn't take care of is cards with flying and stuff like that. So that's kind of awkward, but I still feel like this is probably going to be a pretty good removal spell. But yeah, I think Coastal Beastmaster is probably really good. So I'm going to take it here because a 5/5 for 5 is on rate and it's Renown as well. So, oh my gosh, a third Mighty Strikes. Yeah, we will take that. So I think here we can pick the Research Assistant because we know it's going to help us play these primal cards. It's like a little bit of fixing. Maybe it's better than Softfoot Burglar, but I already have one Softfoot Burglar, so I'd rather try the Research Assistant. Okay, so maybe we're Rakano splashing for the primal. And in that case, I think I'm going to take Fall Short here just because I think it's a pretty good removal spell. Well, this is awkward. Both 2 4-drops, both with Pledge, with opposite stat lines. Since I know I'm in fire, I guess I'll take the Surveiller over the Court Mage. And last pick, Borrowed Vibers. Okay, so Hammer of Might seems like it's a very relevant weapon. Goes into that Rakano plan we've got going on. Rakano Outlaw is also pretty good. But yeah, I'm just going to take the Hammer of Might here. Seems really good with Renown. Like, playing this, War Crying 3 on top of your deck seems pretty good. Ooh, we got Oni Ronin, we have Arc Century, both of which I think are good for us. I think I'm just going to take the Oni Ronin here and be a little bit more aggressive. So, yeah, let's take the Oni Ronin instead of the Auric Sentry. There's also Bright Mace Paladin, but yeah, Oni Ronin's fine for us here. Welding Torch seems amazing for us. Other options might be something like Violent Gust, or maybe even Smuggler's Stash, but we don't have the fixing for that at this point, so we'll just take the Welding Torch. Rakano Stranger seems good for us as far as fixing. Rebel Sharpshooter is very good wearing weapons. Copperhall Porter is more fixing as well. Honor the Ancestors. I only have a couple weapons at this point, so I don't think it makes sense to take this. So yeah, I'm just going to take the Rakano Stranger here over the Copperhall Porter. I think fixing is a good thing to pick highly, since we likely want to be 3 colors in this new format. Did this card get better with Renown? Because not only are you gaining the Renown effect, but you're also drawing a card off of it and just creating a huge body? I mean, I think it's probably the best card here for us, so we'll take it, but likely won't play it. Magma Javelin is some removal. Sky Crew is okay, but yeah, I'm just going to take the removal here. I have no 3-drops right now, which is kind of concerning, but I'm just going to take another Welding Torch here. Wish I could take the Rakano banner, but I'm happy to have another weapon here. I guess this pick is pretty irrelevant, but we'll take Talon Dive here. Definitely going to need some units, so we'll take Recogulator. Granite Acolyte is amazing in Renown. I had a Forge deck with I think 2 or 3 of them, and it felt really good, so happy to see that here. Pyre Adept is a fine 2-drop, so we'll take that. And Young Gun. I need to check how many units I have at this point, because obviously there's Changey Stick, which is great, and also, you know, Lightning Strike for removal, but if I don't have enough bodies, I can't win the game, so I need to just check how we're doing there. So I only have 11 bodies right now. I guess that's not too concerning, so I should really just take the best card, but as far as like primal fixing, I only have one primal fixing source at the moment, so that's a little awkward because they're definitely like all these mighty strikes make the deck a lot better. The Coastal Beastmaster makes the deck a lot better, so taking another primal card is maybe a little sketchy here. I don't think I need Hoof Slash since I've got these mighty strikes. And so that kind of leads me to look at the bottom row here. Grenadin Drone would be a fine 1-drop, but nothing too exciting. I am really lacking on 3-drops, so I think I'm going to pick the Loyal Watchwing here, just as a flying unit, and, you know, something that needs to be answered, otherwise the war cries get out of control. Resolute Paladin seems really good with Mighty Strikes, so I'll take it here. This is pretty sweet Celestial Omen art. I haven't seen the premium version before, so that's pretty cool. Valkyrie Aspirant was good. I think that was back in set 3 draft, and I think it's the pick here. There's just nothing here for us, so I guess I'll take the Stranger. So are we supposed to be in whatever the FJS combination is called? There's a banner here. I think I'll take a second Loyal Watchwing, but not too excited about it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're in the right spot with packs 2 and 3. Guess I'm going to take Hoof Slash here over Recogulator because maybe we don't get the primal fixing we need for Mighty Strikes. Oh, this is bad. Dark Return is like an okay splash, but maybe we just pick the Stalwart Shield here. Yeah, it seems like we were supposed to be in FJS because the fixing for that is coming through. Stone Powder Heretic might make the deck. I think Copper Hull Recruit is fine. And Doorpot. Wow. That is a weird card. So I could get this for Primal Fixing, and it's a rare, so it's probably, I feel like this is probably relevant for Constructed, and it's also relevant for us to get our Primal Sigil. Other options are like Fall Short, which we already have one. Coastal Recruit seems fine. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to take this Aurelian Cargo here. Resolute Monk. This card is insane. Like, if you're in time, this card seems super good. It's just so hard to deal with. A 5/3 on turn 3, but I think this card alone makes like the ping effects, like snowballs, and maybe even like temper and stuff relevant. Because yeah, this card is super awkward to deal with. Okay, Loyal Falcon seems very good. Defiance is removal, which seems good. There's another Coastal Beastmaster. Makeshift Barrier seems pretty decent as well. I think I'm going to pick the Makeshift Barrier just because I have so many 4-drops. And this like makes things easier on our power base. But I think this Loyal Falcon card is probably pretty good. It's like it's a smaller version of the 4/6 Flying Endurance guy. So I can't imagine that this is going to be bad. Fireheart Recruit, I think, is also very good and awkward to deal with. Quick Draw is just nice, and putting weapons there is good, but maybe that's a little awkward when you want to put weapons elsewhere. Axe Sharpener is a 2/3 for 2 with extra text, which seems pretty good for Justice. So I think I will take the Axe Sharpener here over the Fireheart Recruit. I don't think anything else is really worth considering over those two. Broken Wing Brawler seems very good, just like continue to get value out of a card and makes your power more relevant in the late game. Otherwise, I'm just picking like Unmoored Valkyrie here, which I don't think is very exciting. I think this Power Breach Sentinel card is pretty good, especially in like an Empower deck. It's just hard to deal with. Pay 4 to deal 1 damage to an enemy, that seems bad. So I think it's either Fireheart Recruit or Cold Soul Recruit. This is like a relic payoff, that's weird. This is, I think, a good relic. Like pseudo removal and maybe relevant text. But yeah, we'll pick the Fireheart Recruit here. I think it just makes more sense. I'll take another fall short here. Oni Samurai seems good. This is a weird value card. But yeah, we'll take the Oni Samurai. We'll take another Research Assistant for the fixing. Nice. Another fall short. If this was fast, I think that could be kind of exciting, but not super enticed by that. But I think fall short's going to be better for us than Grandfather's Axe, so we'll take that. Oni Forge Master. Another Mighty Strikes. My goodness. So if I can get the Primal, like, we are golden, I think. But I think I'm just going to take the Oni Forge Master here rather than like going deeper into the Primal, because how many Primal sources do we have? So we have 3 Primal sources in the deck already. Maybe that's enough. And then we'll play like 2 or 3 Primal Sigils. Alright, let's take the Mighty Strikes here. I just think this card is going to be so good compared to Forge Master. Let's do a quick unit count just to make sure we don't need the body. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't need the body, so we can take another Mighty Strikes here. Quick filler, and Mischief Yeti. I think that card's probably pretty good too. So I think Hoof Slash can go since we've got the 4 Mighty Strikes. I don't think Phoenix Hammer is going to be relevant. One of these 2 4-cost weapons needs to go. Probably just Bronze Curry Ass. And then I think we're good there. And now we just need to cut down on the units. We might need to cut Stalwart Shield too and just go like that. We got 3 fall shorts? Yikes. Alright, so let's look at units now. I think Softfoot Burglar, like Argenport Stranger, Softfoot Burglar can probably go. I don't know about 2 Loyal Watchwings. I think Recogulator can go. I really would only want to use this for a power, so I think it's out. I think Resolute Paladin is good for us. So we've got like 3 removal spells. This is fixing. Yeah, so I like all 4 of our 1-drops. I like our 2-drops. So we have 8 1 and 2-drops. Fireheart Recruit seems good. Granite Acolyte seems good. Loyal Watchwing. I don't know if we need 2 of these. I like Makeshift Barrier. I think we'll cut the Copper Hall Recruit because it's very similar to Makeshift Barrier. But maybe that's a mistake. Stone Powder Heretic likes to wear weapons, but how many renowned guys do I have? I guess not that many. I don't know. It doesn't seem great in this deck. But you could like pre-combat Mighty Strikes and just make it huge. I don't know. I think it's my least favorite of the 5-drops. I think Broken Wing Brawler and Coastal Beastmaster are good. So let's get this out, this out. Getting pretty low on units, so maybe we need to take out 1 Mighty Strike. I like the rest of this. So this would put us at 17 power. It's probably the right number for this deck because our curve stops at 6 basically. Yeah, so 17 seems right here. Let's get some power added to the deck real quick. Okay, nothing special here. So we'll just get the power added. 3, 4, 5, 6 primal sources for 4 cards. Seems right. So this is 8, 8 split. So I think this is the right power split. We have 8 fire and justice sources, including the Recano Stranger. We've got 6 primal sources. With 3 sigils, the Aurelian Cargo, and then 2 research assistants. So I think this is a good place to be. Just want to close out this drafting and deck building portion by saying thanks for watching. I appreciate you joining me as I explore this new set, and hopefully this deck works out. You know, it's basically a 2-color deck with some pretty powerful primal cards, so I think it'll do fairly well, but I don't know how aggressive, like, this deck seems pretty aggressive, but I have no idea how aggressive the format is at this point, so just really excited to get into the games and see how the deck does. So I hope you'll join me in the next video to see how it all pans out.